Good afternoon, I'm Sean McMahon, the CVU principal, and I'm proud to welcome you to the 44th commencement exercises for the CVU class of 2008. I would ask that everybody please stay standing as we will have Gary Cheeseman and Brittany Burbo lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the national anthem will be sung by Alex Johnson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The assembly will please be seated for the welcome delivered on behalf of the senior class by Audrey Wallace.
Hello, and welcome to the graduation of the CVU class of 2008. 4 years ago, this moment seemed impossibly far away. But before we knew it, freshman year was over, then sophomore year, then junior year, and now here we are at our high school graduation. From here, we embark on a completely different life from the ones we've lived thus far, jumping from the known to the unknown. Whether we're staying at home, going to college, working, or traveling to another country, this period of our lives is drawing to a close. But today isn't just about the graduates. Today is the day where we celebrate those who made this transition possible. First, I'd like to thank the CVU faculty and staff. As Yeats said, education is not filling a bucket, but lighting a fire. I've had the privilege of learning from truly incredible teachers who didn't just teach us facts, but showed us how to learn and to always be curious. I would also like to thank the family and friends here today. The fact that you're here shows your devotion to our accomplishments, as well as your ability to take pride in our successes. You are the support that allows us to take risks and teaches us how to fail without being failures. Finally, I'd like to thank the students themselves. I've made lifelong friends who continue to inspire, help, and of course, entertain me. I know I'm not speaking for just myself when I say that it may be the students here, my self-made family, who have truly created the person I am today. So thank you, everyone here today, and to the class of CVU 2008, good luck. Thank you.
The first address on behalf of the senior class will be delivered by Alice Hazen.
Good afternoon. As I look out over the sea of red caps and gowns, as we sit here on this warm June afternoon, I believe we should contemplate on and cogitate about both our lives as students at CVU and our lives as adults in the world that awaits us tomorrow. For the word commencement connotes both an ending and a beginning, and, oh, wait a minute. That's my boring speech. And even though it is Friday the 13th, none of you should be unlucky enough to have to be subjected to that one. I must come back to the quote my grandmother used to attribute to Mark Twain. A good speech should be like a woman's dress, long enough to cover the subject, short enough to keep it interesting. Although, personally, I like to think of it in terms of the running shorts worn by the boys' track team. Music has been a major part of my life, and I found that it has taught me some valuable life lessons. The first lesson may be the most important. While I have the podium, I believe I have an obligation to state this at last, as a sort of public service announcement. The violin is a greatly superior instrument to the viola. As a matter of fact, this is a universal truth. Everybody hates the viola, even violists. And so, there was a man who had a viola, and he left it in the back seat of his car. And about 10 minutes later, he remembered he had left the car doors unlocked. And terrified, he rushed back to his car and looked in the back seat and saw that his worst fears had been realized. There on the back seat, someone had left a second viola. The second most important lesson I learned from music concerns competition. Even as a young violinist, I was ambitious in my goals. And one goal that grew to be a dream for me was that of being the concertmaster, or the best violinist, of the Vermont Youth Orchestra. In the years leading up to the auditions for this past year's seating, I would always compare myself favorably to the other violinists, and therefore I assumed I would always find my way to the top. But another player in the violin section soon captured my attention, Owen Keverlenz. Owen is an amazing musician, and I've always been impressed by his passion for the violin. And gradually, I began to notice a change in my own attitude. No longer could I assume that the first chair would be mine. I had to practice harder and more often because I knew Owen was practicing. I sat up straighter during rehearsal. I took notes on my violin lessons. And the motivation behind all of this was my competitor. Owen and I ended up playing together as co-concertmasters this year, and it was a wonderful experience. But more importantly, I learned from Owen that competition, whether on the soccer field or in the classroom, or even at Model UN, can be a healthy thing and a good thing, as long as it is not the be-all and end-all of life, and that out of competition can come growth and respect. I would encourage all of you to view your competitors as some of your greatest teachers, if not your friends. The third lesson I have learned from music is the value of preparation. Those of you who play sports, or perform in school plays, or sing in the chorus know how much time you spend at practice and rehearsals. The fact of the matter is that most of our lives will be spent in the process of working towards our ambitions and our dreams, and sometimes this process is a struggle. The Vermont Youth Orchestra performs 3 concerts a year, each lasting about 2 hours. Yet, each concert represents hours and hours of rehearsal, as well as further time devoted to individual practice. And nobody can say that practicing is fun for me or was easy on my family. Sometimes my father would poke his head into my room and quote James Bond in GoldenEye, "Who's strangling the cat?" And each year, all of my practicing and rehearsing culminated in a total of 6 hours of actual performance. But I did not enjoy playing in the orchestra only during those 6 hours. Rather, it was the process of rehearsal, the friendships I made through the orchestra, the satisfaction of nailing that one section I'd been working on for days that I loved the most. If we all lived only for the concerts in our lives, or the games or the races, or the annual school play, those short intervals during which we actually perform, during which we revel in our achievements, our lives would be about a week long. And they'd be less rewarding. Sometimes the best high jump occurs during warm-ups. The best argument presents itself right after a debate has ended, or the best music is made during a rehearsal. But it is the making of that music that counts, no matter when it happens or who is listening. Lastly, every piece of music has at least 1 or 2 musical ideas or themes that tie it together. And I mean every piece of music. We can all hum the opening theme to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony or Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries, but Usher's Yeah has just as powerful a theme in its own way, for its own time. Bum 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 yeah yeah yeah. And just as every piece of music centers on its 1 or 2 musical ideas to make a coherent, meaningful statement, so we may enrich our lives by focusing on each of our 1 or 2 callings, our loves, our purposes, whether we are Beethoven or Usher, bassoonists or beatboxers, or whether we are thinkers, singers, runners, writers, athletes, actors, or engage in any of the other interests so well represented by our class. If we listen closely enough for our individual themes, if we can let our lives follow these unifying threads, perhaps we can find our own ways to contribute to the world through our unique passions, to work together in concert. It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your violist is? Thank you.
The second address on behalf of the senior class will be delivered by Rebecca Calder.
Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Good afternoon, family, friends, community members, and of course, CVU class of 2008. Now, I'm guessing about 75% of you seniors know I'm up here reciting Dr. Seuss. The rest of you are probably confused. 4 years ago, on our first day at CVU, our class sat in the auditorium and listened intently as Val Gardner stood on stage and read these same words to us from Oh, the Places You'll Go. Little awkward freshmen, we all giggled nervously and thought to ourselves how strange it was for the principal to be on stage reading a children's story, never mind one by Dr. Seuss. But now I'm here and I'm reading Dr. Seuss to all of you because I think Val was right. Each senior graduating today is standing on the bridge between childhood and adulthood. Behind us are years of playdates, summer vacation, elementary and middle school, and soon to be behind us, CVU. CVU means something different for each senior here, but we all share some memories. We witnessed the transition from Principal Val Gardner to Sean McMahon, and the old CVU to the new CVU. We lived through freshman debates, Model UN, and the first ever trials search. We endured 2 years of kneecaps and completed graduation challenge, learning myriad new facts and skills, whether we wanted to or not. We started the garden, compost, and reusable dishes in the cafeteria, and demonstrated our school and class spirit in the trike race, which of course we won this year. And now we're the first class ever to have unisex caps and gowns. Each one of us will leave CVU to begin an adult life. And while this seems like the ultimate freedom, leaving CVU is still bittersweet. Admittedly, I will miss CVU. Seeing my peers and teachers, listening to the stories of Mr. Ely and Mr. Miscavige, having cupcakes and muffins in advisory, and being encouraged by the community to do my best inside and outside of school. Thanks to the support of CVU and my parents, I finally have my brain in my shoes. And according to Dr. Seuss, I now can go in any direction I choose. And it's kind of scary. All of us want the freedom to choose for ourselves and not be told what to do. But sometimes what we want the most can be the hardest. As we move forward, each one of us must recognize that it takes time to determine what we want to do. And it takes time to acclimate to our new freedom and responsibility. So seniors, be patient with yourselves, and families and friends, be patient with your soon-to-be graduates as you encourage and support them on their way. Before I close, I'd like to share something not from a picture book. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." All through high school and growing up, we are pressured to try new sports, learn new instruments, take more courses, succeed on exams, volunteer, be a leader, go above and beyond, basically do more. But today, as I stand before you as co-valedictorian of the CVU class of 2008, I understand what Emerson meant. Today, we are not just here to praise past achievements, wins, and activities. Likewise, we are not just here to predict what each graduate leaving this gymnasium will accomplish in the next year, 10 years, and beyond. We are here to celebrate the depth and breadth of the CVU class of 2008 and the amazing young men and women we have all become during our 4 short years at CVU. So today, as we celebrate each other, I would like to echo Val's words once more. Congratulations, CVU class of 2008. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. Thanks.
The third address on behalf of the senior class will be delivered by Dan Liebman.
Good afternoon, classmates, family, faculty, and anyone who came accidentally thinking there was a Catamounts game today. The diplomat Anthony Lake once said that being a graduation speaker is a little like being the body at an Irish wake. They need you in order to have the party, but they don't actually expect you to say very much. I can kind of see what he means. Over the years, and even the past few days, so many speeches have been given that it's difficult to tell your graduating classmates something they don't already know. So, as one of the final people left standing between you and your diploma, I won't rehash others' advice. Instead, I want to give you something that you can take into the world along with that diploma: confidence in each of your abilities to succeed. Since I've worked with you all for the past 4 years, you already have mine. But I know you'll want more than that. You'll want proof. So I've brought that proof with me today. You see, you all have the potential to be successful because as members of the CVU class of 2008, each of you is and will always be Batman. Now, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, each year, each CVU class chooses its own mascot for the trike race at Winter Carnival, which you already heard this class definitely won. I find it very fitting that this class chose to be represented by Batman, because while Batman is an enormously successful superhero, he actually has no superpowers whatsoever. Batman can't fly, he doesn't have super strength, he doesn't shoot lasers from his eyes or webs from his wrists. What he does have is the same thing that each of you possesses in some form: a set of unique talents and skills that he has learned to master. No magic, he doesn't need it, just straight up talent. And class of 2008, if there's one adjective that can possibly describe you all, it is talented.
Across the board, without an exception, you all have a talent. Maybe it's in the performing arts, or maybe it's in the sciences. Maybe it's with working with people, or with cars, or with computers. You may have had that talent your whole life, like one of those 4-year-olds who sit down at the piano and whip out Mozart sonatas. You might have discovered that talent here at CVU. Maybe you discovered a knack for metal fabrication or woodworking in the shop. Or maybe, like many of us, you're still searching for the thing that'll make you tick. And that's fine, because sooner or later you will find it, because I guarantee you it's there. So setting aside the black cape and the multi-billion-dollar inheritance, the only thing that separates you from your class mascot are the opportunities to put your talents to work. And believe me, after today, if you put your mind to it, you'll start getting plenty of those. Even though you're Batman, you don't have to fight evil, necessarily. Maybe you'll fight disease as doctors and nurses. Or you'll fight illiteracy as teachers and professors. Maybe you'll fight other people in brutal, continuous combat as politicians. Out there, I see talented mechanics and business people and artists and writers and so much more. Of course, I can't promise you easy success. That would be naive. Your talent may be your key to success, but that key's not going to turn itself. Batman wasn't born Batman. He was born Bruce Wayne. It's going to take effort from you. He made himself into a superhero through determination and hard luck, like I know you will. In the words of Milton Berle, before opportunity can knock, you have to build a door. I wish you all luck, and I look forward to finding out where that door leads for each of you. And I do have one pearl of wisdom to leave you with. If you ever find yourself doubting your chances at success, just think back to this year's Winter Carnival and our captivating class dance. And as you see in your mind the ears of the hose head ballet slowly unfurling, remember that you were a member of the CVU class of 2008, that you were and still are Batman, and that you got this. Go build your doors, CVU, and congratulations. Thank you.
A gift from the departing senior class will be presented by Ellen Ross and Jonathan Bateman.
Hey, everybody. I'm coming. There's a certain importance attached to any class gift because it connotes a legacy, how a class will be remembered.
These gifts are an indication of the hard work our class members have put into making CVU a better place.
After 4 years here, I can safely say we are all, in one way or another, proud to be part of the class of 2008. And so, this is the story of Johnny Appleseed.
At the turn of the century, Johnny Appleseed wandered the frontier, spreading goodwill and planting apple trees. Although his face was covered with a scraggly beard and his clothes worn, he was very much the epitome of giving.
That sounds a lot like our senior class, at least the boys with the straggly beards. And we are pleased to announce the donation of a small apple orchard to CVU.
Bradford, our president, said it best. We've spread our roots, and now it's time to bear our fruits. We're going to spread more roots so CVU can bear our fruits in the future.
Speaking of the future, there's an aspect of the renovation that wasn't funded in the last bond project and still isn't completed.
The auditorium is in desperate need of renovation.
I know, I don't like lights falling on my head.
And I certainly don't like it when I'm unable to properly hear the melodic voices of the talented singers that cross across the stage.
The class of 2008 would like to make a donation to the Auditorium Renovation Fund in hopes that other members of the community will help to raise the remainder of the $2.3 million needed. So that maybe our auditorium can sound like the Theater of Epidaurus in Greece.
Finally, the class of 2008 has decided to honor someone very special to CVU.
When Mr. Clough retired last year, he left a legacy of loud conversations, intellectually stimulating debates, and a love for political science and government. The Clough legacy lives on in a scholarship fund created in his honor.
Our class would like to make a donation to the Clough Fund, which provides a scholarship to 2 students who share the same love of civics, public service, and political science as Mr. Clough.
This year, the award was given to Sam Ross and Taylor Bates, who have both actively shown their devotion to political science.
This class has left behind gifts that will keep on giving to the classes that follow on behind us.
Go on, CVU Class of 2008. Spread your roots wherever you may go, and remember that for 4 long or short years, CVU was your home.
Congratulations.
The honored speaker invited by the class of 2008 to address them on this occasion of graduation will be introduced by Aiden Zebertavage.
Any of the individuals sitting in front of me today who had this year's guest speaker as a teacher would agree that to try and capture his essence in words would be an extremely difficult task. For the impact he had on all of his students was one that went far beyond his tests and papers. His passion for what he taught, and more importantly, the passion he had for his students, was unparalleled. And his intellect and humor, plus his uncanny ability to never take himself too seriously, made him one of the best teachers ever to grace the halls of CVU. And it will come as no surprise to many of you that this year's class of 2008 guest speaker is none other than Mr. Greg Clough. Mr. Clough has a passion for the world around him and the decisions that were being made in Washington that had a direct effect on us. And he continually told us that we were much more involved in the political process than we thought. For Mr. Clough realized who would be making the decisions affecting our country in 20 years, his students. But I never felt like a student in Mr. Clough's class. I felt like an equal, an adult who merely needed to learn something about politics, a subject that Cloughy was more than willing to teach about. And although it's a cliche to say that teachers can see the potential within their students, I never truly believed it until I walked into Mr. Clough's class. Mr. Clough saw the potential within every one of us. He believed and eventually made us believe that we could achieve whatever we dreamt. And I believe it is extremely fitting that he is our guest speaker this year, to once again remind this year's graduates of our amazing abilities to prompt change in the world around us. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming this year, class of 2008 guest speaker, Mr. Greg Clough.
Thank you very much, Aiden, for that enthusiastic piece of fiction. Superintendent Pinkney, Principal McMahon, Class Advisor Fay, school board members, families and friends of the graduates, and most importantly, members of the CVU class of 2008. It is indeed an honor to, as Aiden requested in his email invitation, share a few words with you on this milestone occasion. Today's ceremony is usually referred to as either a graduation or a commencement. Clearly, Alice and I did not compare notes before our speeches. A graduation from CVU, which allows us to look back at the achievements of this mighty class, and a commencement, the beginning of the next phase of your lives. More on that later, but let's first review some of your achievements. As Red Hawks, your class has truly soared. This is to be considered a sample, so please no hard feelings if I leave out something that you did. In the area of academics, you have many National Honor Society members, National Merit Scholars. You were recognized as state champions in Scholars Bowl, finally, as well as debate and forensics, despite the coach. You have designed science projects that only Mr. Fay can pronounce and Mr. Ely can understand. And at convocation on Wednesday evening, you received an astounding 83 awards. Hearty congratulations. In the arts, you've been involved in several drama productions, countless performances of choruses, orchestra, and bands. You have made films, decorated the halls of CVU with examples of your superb artwork, and even received recognition for a sculpture, Rodin's Thinker, made out of recyclable materials. In athletics, you have participated against Vermont's strongest teams and have emerged as champions in lacrosse, tennis, cross-country running, skiing, and of course, soccer. In service to your community, you have sold daffodils for the American Cancer Society, made meals for the Ronald McDonald House, taken numerous trips to Lumberton, Somerton, and Moss Point. You have participated in COTS walks, diabetes runs, and even, although I can't quite conceive of it, the penguin plunge into icy Lake Champlain. You have been mentors and buddies to elementary school children. You have sent care packages to American soldiers in Iraq. And you all successfully completed Graduation Challenge. As CVUers, you have a distinguished record of which to be proud and from which you are moving on today. Now let's consider commencement, the next phase. This is challenging for you because you are all going to live it. And for me, as your invited speaker, because I'm expected to provide meaningful advice that you are guaranteed to forget almost instantly. So like virtually every graduation speaker in this situation, I panicked. What to do? What do I say? How to be even remotely relevant today? So in my panic, I took this dilemma to the unofficial dean of the CVU faculty, the person with her finger on the pulse of the CVU school community, who would certainly set me on the right path. Chris O'Donnell. She suggested, in her own inimitable style, be yourself. Use lots of four-letter words. After digesting her wisdom for a short period of time, I realized that Chris was absolutely right. Now we'll just take a brief break while someone administers CPR to Principal McMahon here. Although these will not be the same four-letter words that were banned from television back in the dark ages, that would be when Mr. Greenwald was toddling off to kindergarten in New Orleans with his first copy of Aeschylus. But here are 5 four-letter words for your consideration today. First, the H word, home. Today, you will take leave of your CVU home as you prepare to move on to the next phase of your life. Whether your path is college, the workforce, the military, travel, or service, most of you will be setting up a new home in the next few weeks and months. Perhaps it's a college dorm, an apartment in Burlington or Jackson Hole, a hostel in Holland, a barracks in Kentucky, or a tent in some remote area of the world. It can be a downright scary thought, sharing a tiny space with a stranger who has a completely different schedule from yours, who throws her dirty laundry on the floor, who listens to music that you hate for hours at a time, or who laughs out loud when reading his emails. The operative four-letter words for enhancing the possibility of mutual coexistence in this situation include luck, risk, give, take, and flex. Next, the T word, time. The exciting concept here is that you will actually have some in this next phase of your life. No longer will you be governed by the 8:15 to 3:15 CVU class schedule, followed by rehearsal, practice, or work, then a couple of hours of homework, and oh yeah, squeezing in a grad challenge interview too. You will actually have some flexibility. Helpful four-letter words to use this time productively are plan, set some goals, talk, advocate for action, hear, listen and learn from others, look, further develop your personal points of view, and above all, lead. Third, the R word, real. Be who you are, really. As the deep thinker and underappreciated American philosopher Judy Garland, who played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, said, strive to be a first-rate version of yourself as opposed to a second-rate version of someone else. In today's society, there is immense pressure to look, act, think, even to feel the right way. You will need to engage your brain, courage, and heart to remain true to yourself. The good news is that you already have them. No trip to see the wizard is necessary. Four-letter words to keep in mind: care, path, and true. Nurture and follow them. Now the G word, grow. And I'm not talking about the freshman 15. Think back to yesterday and the video of you as a 14-year-old timidly entering CVU for the first time. Now fast forward to today as you see yourself brimming with confidence as a young adult ready to take on the world. After you have glided gracefully across the stage and received your cherished diploma. Imagine who you'll be 4 or 5 years from now. The possibilities are not only endless, but achievable too. Four-letter words to guide your development include play, sing, joke, dare, give, feel, urge, and above all, hope. Finally, it is certainly clear to all of us today that my generation is turning over to yours an America that needs lots of work. Whether the issue is climate change, war and peace, spiraling gas prices, skyrocketing food costs, providing health insurance, or improving public education, the challenges are significant. While each of you will, in your own way, play a role in tackling these issues, I would ask you to briefly reflect on a sentence of the CVU mission statement that talks about CVU's goal to help you become a contributing member of a democratic society. Bottom line, minimum citizenship requirement, a must for each and every one of you, and the final four-letter word, vote. While it may not be the most that you do as a young citizen, it is the least that you must do in order to preserve and promote our democracy. Vote. Thank you again for inviting me to be part of your very special day Congratulations, CVU class of 2008. Have fun, be safe, peace. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to recognize the entire faculty and staff of Champlain Valley Union High School and all of our CSSU schools who have played significant roles in supporting the class of 2008. I would also like to extend a special recognition to Student Services Director Helen Niedermeyer and Chittenden House Director Jeff Tobrock, who are departing with over 25 years of combined service to our CVU community. I would like to present to you Elaine Pinckney, our Superintendent of CSSU Schools. And the distinguished members of the Board of School Directors. From Williston, David Rath. Also from Williston, Meg Hart-Smith. Jean Jensen from Williston. And Jonathan Milne from Williston. Our Shelburne representatives are Rebecca Moore, Jeff Parker, and Joan Lennis, who sends her regards, who can join us today. From Heinsberg, Mike Bissonette. And also from Heinsberg, Leah Crevetti-Cheng. And our Charlotte representatives, Lorna Jimerson and Dottie Waller. Ms. Jean Jensen, Chairwoman of the Board of Directors, these students have satisfactorily completed the prescribed course of study according to the requirements of the state of Vermont and the Board of School Directors of CVU. Therefore, I recommend that they be recognized as graduates of this high school, the class of 2008.
Thank you. By virtue of the power invested in this high school and as chairwoman of its board of directors, I accept your recommendation.
Are you ready? Will the first group of students please approach the platform? Okay, here we go. Margot N. Adams. Kelly L. Alden. Michael T. Allen. Samuel P. Alpert. Idiana Amblo. Olivia Bod. Caitlin D. Barnt. Alexandra I. Baroni. Danielle S. Baroni. Kelsey E. Barton. Jonathan D. Bateman. Taylor H. Bates. Kelsey L. Bean. Alexander J. Beaton. Miles L. Beaudoin. Cyrus R. Bedard. Gussie O. Belial. Catherine A. Bennett. Bradford M. Berry. Alex A. Bissett. Lauren C. Bigelow. Christian J. Blodgett. William S. Blumhart. Kristen E. Blumen. Jessica A. Booth. Natasha M. Borgia. Laura J. Boris. Kayla M. Broussard. Rebecca D. Brinkerhoff. Brittany L. Brogna. Hallie J. Broido. Benjamin P. Brooks. Wiley M. Brown. Hannah K. Bryant. Brittany T. L. Burbo. Sarah E. Birds. Philip Bergen Young. Samantha T. Burns. Nicholas J. Butchino. Frederick E. Butler. Rebecca R. Calder. Stephen K. Campbell. Zachary J. Campbell. Brendan B. Campney. Lillian S. Canfield. Caroline P. Carpenter. Kyle B. Carrier. Joseph S. Cardellaro. Laura K. Chartrand. Gary L. Cheeseman. Philip L. Cheney. Tyler P. Schwanier. Sarah Christie. Kimberly E. Clark. Olivia L. Clemens. Gretchen Cochran. Taylor J. Collins. Tyler H. Colvin. Joshua D. Cook. Aaron D. Cooney. John Henry Costello. Alexandra F. Coda. Chelsea L. Couillard. Dylan B. Covington Walker. Bradley Curler. Amy L. Curtis. William F. Curtis. Alexander R. Svetkov. Christina L. DeTilio. Bennett W. D. Chelsea L. Degree. Reese B. Delaire. Anthony V. DeToma. Dustin R. Diet. Alexa Dickerson. Rachel J. Dodd. David A. Dodge. Colin B. Doherty. Sierra K. M. Dompierre. Marley J. Donaldson. Eric T. DeTolo. Dawn A. Duell. Angela C. Dunkling. Brian A. Dunkling. Alan R. Dunn. Brittany L. Duquette. Mallory H. Echo. Catherine W. Edgerton. Skylar P. Edwards. Bridget A. Eisler. Daniel P. Everts. Andrew C. Fairbairn. Aiden P. Farnham Rendino. Lauren A. Fay. Emily L. Fisher. Megan E. Fitzgerald. Behind you. Patrick A. Fortin. Ashley L. Fournier. Rachel L. Franklin. Alec M. Freeman. Allison L. Fry. Tyler A. Gagliuso. Kayla C. Gatos. F. Gregory Goss. Laura K. Gentile. Thomas J. Giardino. Timothy G. Giebink. Eli A. Goldberg. Zvi B. Goldberg. Catherine A. Galler. Scott A. Goodwin. Daniel A. Greenfield. Daniel T. Grimison. Benjamin Grimes Viscup. Chelsea M. Grohl. Samuel D. Guarnaccia. Katrina A. Gabara. Catherine D. Gundlach. Stephanie C. Hackett. Benjamin M. Hain. Stephen J. Hamill. Christina A. Handy. Robin W. Hart. Alice H. Hazen. Lynn M. Haskins. Luke D. Hauserman. Riley C. Hawkins. Lucas A. Hawley. William M. Hedden. Shadia J. Hareth. John W. Hill. April C. Hillman. Catherine B. Holmberg. Daniel S. Hopkins. Jeremy F. Halsey. Ian T. Hunt. Jonathan J. Ingalls. Patrick R. Ittleman. Aaron D. Jackson. Alec A. Jacobson. Victor Jagger. Carly E. James. Brittany L. Jean. David G. Jensen. Gabrielle Johansson Riley. Alexander P. Johnson. Bonnie R. Johnson. Drew R. Johnson. Evan J. Cargie. Siobhan E. Kelly. Maxwell E. Kev. Bridget A. Kiley. John S. Kimball. Eric C. King. Natalie A. Kirk. Nicholas H. Kirkpatrick. Christy L. Knott. Austin J. Cook. Alexander LeBerge. Michaela M. LeBounty. Nicholas N. Lambert. Dustin M. Lamphere. Michael T. Lamphere. Dylan F. Lane. Erica M. Lash. Samantha J. Lash. Catherine O. Laughlin. Katie L. Lavalette. Paul Levine. Abigail J. Lazarowski. Zachary S. Leffler. Nathan A. Lerner. Suzanne B. Levac. Brett N. Lewis. Sable I. Lewis. Derek M. Liebert. Daniel L. Liebman. Elaine M. Lemanik. Lisa R. Lemanik. Taylor S. Lemanik. Jacob P. List. Patrick J. Litke. Ashley L. Lazat. Sean M. Logan. Theodore C. Lokenberg. Jamie L. Lowell. Jason T. Luria. Con M. Lee. Tyler B. McNee. Justin A. Machia. Maria L. Maswan. Brian S. Maynard. Olivia L. McGee. Daniel H. Mersha. Evan L. Michaud. Christina S. Mignano. Whitney Michael. Aaron M. Miller. Heath E. Miller. Ryan G. Mills. Sarah E. Minal. Maureen E. Mitchell. Missing one. Thomas J. Moore. Christina M. Morley. Nicole L. Morrison. Daniel B. Mullen. Rhiannon E. Murphy. Jacob C. Neely. Rhiannon Neela Stock. George F. Neely. Samantha J. Nielsen. Ashley C. Nixon. Connor E. Noyes. Ethan D. Ordway. Logan B. Ordway. Grace M. Paquette. Joshua L. Parker. Katie M. Paye. Andrew B. Peterson. Connor S. Peterson. Kelly N. Petrie. Chad M. Place. Diana M. Popke. Sean P. Poulin. Elizabeth S. Prout. Lindsay I. Provencher. Benjamin W. Pruitt. Stephanie R. Puma. Audrey M. Ramsden. William H. Ramsey. Stephen M. Ramstrom. Holden T. Rands. Peter S. Raska. Kayla L. Reed. Carrie G. Raykugler. Karen E. Ree. Alexa R. Reel. Gregory J. Robitaille. Nicole M. Rock. Evan A. Roser. Micah F. Rose. Ann E. Rosenblad. Ellen C. Ross. Samuel C. Ross. Jacob T. Rule. Shauna M. Roy. Christopher M. Rushford. Bethany M. Scheidegger. Rihanna M. Schenk. Carl Schenker. Victoria M. Scripps Carmody. Marguerite R. Seaton. Morgan A. Selin. Abigail M. Senesac. Samantha M. Sateish. Benjamin W. Seward. Brittany M. Shaffrey. Coley S. Shapiro. Courtney V. Sheehan. Ian D. Shelley. Connor R. Schlatz. Matthew L. Shover. Whipawee Silpatoxagal. Jennifer Simpson. April E. Seipel. Mia M. Sloan. Nathan A. Sloma. Kendra V. Smallwood. Kate Smith. Molly E. Smith. Hannah R. Solomon. Anna C. Spidell. Rachel E. Stearns. Jocelyn R. Stoll. Ryan S. Stoll. Warren J. Strasser. Robin E. Suarez. Megan L. Sullivan. Carly E. Svetlik. Andrew P. Sweeney. Portia M. Sweetser. Jordan A. Tahami. Christina J. Tahari. Kathleen N. Talbot. Mark Talley. J.W. Tandon. Tanya L. Taylor. Sam H. Teasdale. Justin P. Teeter. Adam R. Turco. Nathan D. Terrell. Ashley M. Tebow. Brian R. Thomas. Tova A. Tomasi. Daniel G. Town. Chelsea M. Trombley. Rachel C. Trotter. Lauren A. Tyler. Carla O. Van Cleek. Andreas Varsakopoulos. Karina E. Vita. Claire R. Vintiner. Hannah M. Wagner. Audrey E. Wallace. Corey W. Warren. Martha S. Waterman. Abram G. Weinberg. Elise K. Wernhoff. Allison K. Wetstein. David B. Wheeler. Jessica R. White. Kendra A. Wilkins. Megan N. Wingett. Jacqueline V. Wool. Evan W. Yandel. Jacqueline Yantachka. Aiden S. Zebertavage. Carlos Zarin Medina. And Samuel D. Ziegler. The concluding farewell of the class of 2008 will be delivered by Bradford Berry. I would just like to thank everyone for coming out here to listen to me speak today. Thank you. And before I get started, I wanted to wish Tim a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tim. I would then like to share a birthday story of my own. Just recently, I turned 18, and and upon my 18th birthday, I received a homemade card from my sister that read something like this: "Now when you do something illegal, you'll go to jail." I thought about what this meant to me. Yesterday I was 17, and now just a day older I was 18. I guess this passage of time made me think of how in middle school you can't wait to be in high school. In high school you can't wait to be in college. In college you can't wait to be working. While working you can't wait to be retired. But after retirement you want to be a kid again. The moral of the story is love what you have. And also, life is not a race, because if it were, Alec would win. And also, life is not a beauty contest, because if it were, I would win. And lastly, I would like to thank my parents, Mom and Dad. I love you. And I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional. So before I do, one last thank you, CVU, class of 2008. Thank you. If I could ask the assembly to please rise and remain in your places until the graduates have filed out.